When too much work bogs you down, Asana helps you handle it. AI makes it easy to hand off routine tasks and stay focused on important work. That's how work gets handled. Visit us at asana.com.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
All right, so let's get to it. I want to go ahead and just do a soft intro, let y'all know, hey, I'm here with y'all. I understand that these are sensitive times, and a lot of people have been affected by the shutdown. And I want to take this as an opportunity, as I always do. I want to look at everything as an opportunity of how we can benefit or how we can come out of this situation better. Any negative situation, we always want to come out better and on the positive end of things, right? So that's what I plan on doing today. Add some value to you guys and give you a place where you could, you could share your insights, your perspectives, and we'll be doing that right now. I'm going to bring up a few things that I think that we all could be doing right now is just some internal inventory. Take some time if you are affected by this government shutdown. I want you to be able to think clearly and focus on getting your rest, right? Health is wealth. And we're going to start looking at what are some things that we could be doing to actually get better during this shutdown and prevent something like this from happening. I know we don't have all the power and control to vote, right, necessarily, but we do have the power to actually get better and make ourselves more marketable, right? Looking at the private sector, and things like that. So, like I always tell everyone, and just because of times like this, I always say, hey, you should be able to have some type of small business or side hustle that you can turn to in hard times. Um, and everyone who knows me knows that, right? I got to hustle for your hustle. But here on this channel, I want to just make sure that it's all IT related or tech related, and that I always stay committed to that. I can give everyone an outlet and that type of field, right? So number one, and I tell people this all the time: stop working in isolation, right? The first thing you should be doing is staying, uh, having a network and staying in contact with your network. This is our agenda for this shutdown, right? Constantly staying updated with our network, right? Networking, right? Colleagues, friends, recruiters, right? Right. We're gonna call this the CFRs, all right? CFR, colleagues, friends, recruiters. Colleagues, friends, recruiters. I just came up with that on top of my head. But this is what we want, right? If you don't have colleagues, friends, or recruiters, you need to get them now, right? Start working on these things, right? I'm getting job requests right now. Um, in my email, I'm getting people trying to find me work right now, and find others work, right, if they need that, right? We always want to be proactive. We want to have that solidified at all times. But let's talk about how you get there, actually, right? After networking, how do you build how do I say this, a name for yourself, right? That precedes you, that validates your worth, right? You do that by skills. Actually, by I want this is going to be next, but I'm gonna say this is here by being dependable. We're gonna say no. We're gonna say reliability. Are you reliable? Right? If someone calls on you, can they guarantee that you will show up for the job? Right? Are you gonna show up for the interview? Are you gonna be where you say you're gonna be? Are you gonna be who you're gonna say you're gonna be when you show up and hit that door? Right? Oftentimes I recommend people for positions, and they're so worried about the skill set that they haven't even showed up. You have to be present out here, right? If you're not present, we can't even start there. We can't even talk about your skill set. We can't talk about you delivering, and those are our next topics. But if you just show up every day, that's half the battle. That's actually 70-80% right there. All right. Are you doing that? Because if you're not, you can't expect to get positive outcomes. Right? And then after reliability, most people, right? We're going to start right here so you can see it even on your cell phones. Most people, and I say this all the time in IT, is skills, right? Once you get in, that's not the stopping point. That's just that's the beginning, right? You want to know you have skills, right? So that you become even more marketable, right? So do you have the skills, right? That's training, certification, formal education, right? So training, certifications, formal education. Um, do you have any and all of that? All right. I'm missing something. So it's training, certifications, formal education. What's another skill set? Oh, and communication. A lot of people miss out on this, right? Do you communicate effectively, right? Do you let people know, say, hey, I'm really good at A. I don't know that much about B. However, I'm willing to learn about C, right? Are you that person, right? That's a skill, communication, right? So we've already covered networking. Make sure right now and during the shutdown that you're networking colleagues, friends, recruiters, CFRs, right? We want to get with your CFRs right now, right? Reliability. Are you reliable, right? Showing up on time, doing what you say you're going to do, etc., right? Skills. Training, certifications, formal education, and communication, right? Let's talk about uh, delivering, right? Are you delivering? Right? That's it. That's are you meeting? And this is all you have to do, right? Are you meeting expectations? Right? Are you meeting expectations? If you're not meeting them, why? Right? And how do we get you there? Right? How do we get you to a place where you're meeting expectations? Right? Then next, we want to exceed expectations. Right? How do you do that? You go back to the skills department, right? When you have more, when you have more skills than what's required to do the job, you'll be able to do that. All right. Also, exceeding expectations when you place in communication. All right. When you are on the job and you are going ahead and letting people know, like, hey, this is what we expect the deadline to be, right? And you communicate effectively. We give you 30 days from now to actually meet and or exceed those expectations. And you come in a little early, right? You're willing to work an extra hour or extra day, whatever that might be, to meet and exceed those expectations. That's what we want to do, right? And right here, I'm just going to have the S&P up. I want to know what the markets are doing right now. We always want to stay on that too, right? Believe it or not, you should know what's going on the SPNY. So we're going to put that up there as well. So back to this right here, right? It's titled Surviving the Shutdown. All right. So, like I said, networking, colleagues, friends, recruiters. In case we get bad news and that they're not bringing people back, you want to be able to have that ironed out, right? You have people in different states. You have friends in the area of your expertise. You want to be able to work with them and get along with them. Reliability. Are you reliable? Again, like I said, if they get you to interview, they get you to call, make sure you're answering phone calls. Make sure you're doing the interviews correctly. Make sure you're doing whatever they ask you to do in that amount of time, right? Then skills, training, certifications, formal education and communications, right? Here, what does that look like? Boom, where are you right now? YouTube University. You should live on here, okay? Next thing that you should be doing, paying for courses, right? Case Technologies will be having courses, right? That you can register for and subscriptions, right? There's Pluralsight. And no, I'm not paid by any of these places. Udemy, right? I'll have courses there soon. And etc. Right? Constantly leveling up your skills and improving your skill set. Right? That's what we need from him in that time. We need that at all times, right? Constantly learning, constantly networking. Then we want to be on here, like I said, number 4, delivering. When you get the opportunity, we want you to be meeting expectations, exceed expectations, get in where you fit in, but go ahead and make things happen, right? Let's talk about trends as well. All right. You need to know the trends. So, trending topics for your field, right? If you are, for example, a project manager, you need to know what Scrum is, right? And those methodologies. You need to be certified in there, right? You need to know what the agile method is, right? If you're a developer, what frameworks do you know, right? So you might need to know Angular, the latest on that, and maybe Angular. Let's see, Angular, React, Next.js, stuff like that, right? Uh, Let me just do it all like that. Next.js, you need to know these things, right? Um, if you're in security, you need to know the latest and greatest in security tools, right? Whether it's offensive or defensive security, you need to know these things. You need to be utilizing different software, right? If you don't know um, Linux, you need to learn Linux, right? Simple as that, right? You need to know Kali Linux, right? If you're trying to break in and be hacking and things like that, you need to know uh, all the latest and greatest in terms of just monitoring networks if you're on the defensive side, right? Which you should have in there, right? You can't expect to get or maintain employment these days if you're not skilled. The bare minimum is not getting it anymore. It's not cutting it. You're just not going to go get a 4-year degree and be successful, right? It just doesn't work like that. You're going to have to come in and you're going to have to crush it, right? If it's AI, right? Um, you need to know your LLMs, right? What is everyone using, all right? What tools are they using? Are they using, is it PySpark? Um, Let me be over here real quick. Let me see. Now, I'm not in this one. I do have to look and search this one up, right? Why are you not using Llama in your spare time, your free time, right? Um, GPTJ, GPT Neo X, Bloom, Mistral 7B, Falcon, Command R Plus, right? And then the other Python AI tools. but we definitely want to stay on that. All right. So we have NumPy, SciPy, Theano, Pandas, TensorFlow, right? Keras, PyTorch, scikit-learn, Matplotlib, Plotly, right? You want to be able to understand these, right? So I'm going to put a few of these in here so that you can have these notes here. I'm going to leave this up. I want this to be a place where people can communicate, share ideas, topics, where they're at right now in the state of the shutdown. But also, if you're still working, this is an opportunity to still follow these skill sets. These are just life skills, life values, would be a better way to describe it. You want to be able to have these values in place and check and go for it. All right. What's another avenue? Okay. If you're a network engineer, do you know Juniper? And I'll put that in, what is it, Juno S? Are you that guy or gal? Do you know that when you step on site, are you ready to go? Cisco. Do you know their networking information, right? Do you know another big one? Do you know Nutanix, right? They're emerging. Do you know ServiceNow? And don't get me wrong, you don't have to know everything, but wherever your place of expertise, you should know them, right? These are SaaS products that are very popular right now. Let me make sure I ain't giving none of my information away. All right. Let me see. It's some more out there, and I can never think of the other one. There's ServiceNow, and I can't think of the other one. I can never. It always makes me draw a blank. Top enterprise process. Oh, and you have to know Splunk, right? If you're doing data logs, monitoring, network monitoring, you need to know Splunk. Splunk is critical and it's really good. Or the alternative, you'll need to know Elk, right? And stick around. I'm going to be dropping a wealth of knowledge, real stuff. Most of the people I notice on the internet, they've never worked in an enterprise setting. I've worked in enterprise settings. I even worked for the Big Five before. I'm going to tell you the real deal. I'm going to show you how to Salesforce. I can never remember that. Salesforce. I'm going to tell you and show you how to really get to it, right? These are the things as far as working, maintaining, marketable in the market and doing everything that you can to keep an income, to keep your job, or to be the best at your job. That's what we're covering right here. I'm going to bring up shortly some things that you can do if you end up in an unfortunate space where you're unemployed. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Salesforce, right? We don't need that. Yes, the Atlassian suites, right? Do you know Jira, Confluence? And if you're a DevOps person, do you know Terraform, right? Docker slash Podman, right? Kubernetes. What's your cloud looking like? Do you know AWS? Do you know Azure? Do you know when and where to use them? Right? This is all value added stuff. This is what's going to make you marketable. This is all communication stuff. We don't worry about that too much. Um, Camera strike. It's all individual stuff. Zendesk, things like that. All right. Mm, CrowdStrike, Splunk. So security. What I was talking about, security. You need to know this stuff. Okta, CrowdStrike, Splunk. All right. Datadog, right? That's how you manage and monitor your data. Servers, databases, artificial intelligence. Do you know this stuff right here? OpenAI, ChatGPT, Dolly, um, things like that. I will be uh, in next coming months. I'm creating and selling my own appliances um, for on-site image creation, um, on-site LLMs, so that you can use them not only in the home lab, but you can also recommend them to your enterprise location. I will have an enterprise um, hardware solution available to your um, office space, right? I will be dealing with a lot of on-premise options to allow big companies and small companies alike to save money. I noticed that the cloud is starting to get really expensive when a lot of this stuff is that people are running and hosting is just um, websites and data. You can store data. Data has become cheap since everybody moved to the cloud. Hard drives are inexpensive, right? So with my solution, if you look at it now, right, you have right. So a 22, I think it's 22 terabyte something. Hard drives are insane right now, right? Yeah, so you have a NAS level hard drive, and this is a Red Pro for 22 terabytes. These are the things you're gonna have to know right now to work and help people, will help companies that you may potentially work for. You have to know stuff like this, right? Like I said, stay tuned in. I can show you something, right? 22 terabytes for $400. Why is your organization? You can buy two of these for $800. Why is your organization backing up data on the cloud? There better be good reason, right? If it's a bottleneck situation where you don't want your one office or region to be out, okay, maybe it's understandable. But if you have two offices and you're bi-coastal, okay, you can have a backup solution of 44 terabytes and or just 22 terabytes if you're striping on bi-coastal for $4,000, right? So $2,000 on the West Coast, $2,000 on the East Coast, right? These are solutions that you have to be able to come up with, and AI is not going to do this for you, right? We can beat AI by really just knowing the technology and knowing our skills and knowing what's out there. So keep that in mind. I think a portion of my stuff is being cut off by my banner here. So I want to make sure that you guys can see it. There we go. Right? Yeah, there we go. But we have to keep all these things in mind. If you know what you're doing on your job day to day, you can go ahead and be successful. And that's what I want. I want you to be successful. Stick around. I'm going to learn you something like they used to say, right? Stick around. If you know me or know someone that knows me, I'm not playing any games, right? We're all about growth. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you win, right? Winners know winners, right? Know my group. Also, sign up and sign up to our Discord, right? Check out our Discord. Let me run Notepad. All right. Discord case underscore tech. All right. Join the Discord. It's free right now, right? In the future, we're gonna have some hardcore chats where I want serious minds only in. I'm thinking about what we're gonna price it at. I want serious people only in it. So it might be $40 a month, $50 a month. But I want serious minds in it. I want people who are really about growth, people who are sharing information, who aren't going to gatekeep. I don't want people who are negative. I don't want people to troll. I'm hoping that $40 to $50 will keep that away, but it'll also be affordable enough for members to be successful and for us to add value, right? If you're spending $40 to $50 a month, I want to bring you $500 of knowledge per month, right? I want you to have a net positive of $450 a month in value. That's what I'm bringing to you, right? That's what I'm hoping this Discord will bring to you, right? So remember, always like, comment, and subscribe, right? Share this video. Get out here with your network and let them know what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do for you all. All right? I'm telling you how to be of value, right? How to have success. That's always been my vision. Always like to share information. I never want to be one that gatekeeps and keeps people out of the loop. You know,